This area is just so special, you know, and I think it really took leaving to realize how special it is. It's a town with a big heart. So I actually grew up right across the creek from this farm, and we have a bit of a story to tell. We would come over to the property and we'd play in the barn and we'd play in the hay and in the creeks and in the fields. We knew the owner well, and so we just have a lot of really great memories from this property.
I heard that you're the first people that are from another family that own it.
Yeah, exactly. So a German family purchased the property in the early 1800s, so almost 200 years ago. They bought a tract of land in the valley that was 500 acres, and then they kept this 40 acres for themselves, for their own family, and to create their own homestead. My husband and I were the first people to actually purchase this land that wasn't a part of the original family.
Did you ever imagine that you would end up like moving here, buying it and moving next door?
Never, no. If you told me when I was little that I'd live right next door, I wouldn't believe it.
I know that many of our viewers probably love traveling or would love to travel. So tell us about it. Where did you go? What did you experience in your travels? And what did you bring from those experiences with you?
Yeah, so I think being raised in a small town and just knowing everyone in my town, of course I loved my childhood, but I was always just kind of curious of what else was out there. And so when I decided to go to college, I went to the University of Vermont. It's not too far away, but was kind of drawn to the nature of Vermont. And whenever there was an opportunity to travel, I just kind of took it. I took a job as an English teacher in Thailand and taught 5th and 6th grade English to the students there. After kind of being in that setting of farming, I just kind of realized how important animals and livestock are to people. And I think that's what kind of flipped a switch in my head and said, I need to pursue this professionally, and decided to become a veterinarian. So then after veterinary school in Philadelphia, I took a job as an intern in emergency and ICU at a hospital in Portland, Oregon. So I was just kind of curious to experience the West Coast as well.
How was it?
It was great. I met my husband there. It worked out great. Yeah.
It was meant to be.
Meant to be, yes. We moved from Portland, Oregon here to this small town, and he's a farmer guy now.
I heard that Kelly was like a businessman, right,
Yes.
with a suit. How was it for Kelly?
Oh, he just thrives in this environment. He really loves it. So he grew up in the city, but then he had some experience with his aunt and uncle that had a farm in Oregon, and so he loved driving tractors, and so there's that just fine strand that runs through you, where once you like something, it's just always with you.
You transformed this into a business too, a homestead and a business.
Yes.
How did that happen, and tell us, how did you create this business?
When it came up for sale, that was the most reasonable next thing, is that we had to own it. We couldn't imagine anyone else owning this really special piece of property. This barn's full of these great big beams.
Not even a hurricane could take this.
No, it's been here for 200 years. So we did need to renovate the barn because the original structure and beams were in good shape, but all of the siding needed to be replaced. So that was the first step, is replacing this barn before it fell down on its own. We actually used all local timber, and Kelly cut all of the wood from using a wood miser saw. And then as we started to build this barn, we were like, we can't put animals in this barn. And
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's too beautiful, yeah. And so then we decided to make it into a wedding venue, and right about then is when Kelly proposed, and next thing we knew, we were getting married in this barn.
Here, you got married here.
We did,
The
yes.
first couple, the first wedding was yours.
Yes.
That's amazing. I
Yes.
can breathe the history. I can breathe the happiness of the wedding. I can breathe all the local, all the trees that made it happen.
Yeah.
This is just wonderful and unique.
That's what we always say, the barn just fills up with love. You get 200 people in here dancing, having a great time, lots of great food, and it's
Feel the vibe.
right, yeah, yeah.
So tell us, what is the Wallenpaupack Creek farm experience?
Yeah, so I think why we're very unique is that our property is a fully functional operational farm. We have beef cows, we have a herd of beef cows, and we have a flock of sheep. all meat sheep, and then we also have chickens that we raise for eggs, and we have honey, and then we also have the wedding venue. And so people think, how can, this farm also, translate to being a wedding venue? And that's what we really love, and we want to maintain that. The ceremony site is a creekside location, which is just right along the creek, right through the fields. And then we use the wagon and then the tractor to shuttle people, the guests, back up to the barn. And then here at the barn is where we have cocktail space. And then we also have the reception in the barn, and then followed by dancing. And so people really, go to different parts of the garden. They'll go to our cocktail space, and they'll just kind of take the opportunity to spread out and breathe in the farm and really enjoy themselves.
And what about accommodations?
We have a yurt, and it's an area where the bride and groom typically spends the night after the wedding, and it just kind of allows them to be separated from all of the busyness. They don't feel like they need to clean up anything. They can just kind of go to the yurt and enjoy. It's surrounded by cow pasture, and so they're usually woken by cows mooing, and but what better way to kind of wake up as a married couple?
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Wedding season is from May to October.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you do during the other months?
We just feel very fortunate that we can have a downtime and really just kind of slow the pace down. We have the 3 kids, and we can really enjoy them, and it's really important to show them hard work, but we like to show them relaxing and snuggling on the couch and having slower wake ups. And that's when we also take time to make good food in the winter and have these longer dinners and have guests over and enjoy.
What did you bring from your childhood memories to your actual family life?
It's a really special place, that Kelly and I have here, and we're just very proud of it. And so my childhood was wonderful. People talk about free-range animals. We were free-range kids, always outside, and, always muddy and covered in grass stains, and it was a really, really awesome childhood. And we feel that we kind of want to provide that for our kids too. The experiences that they have, I think they don't realize just how cool it is. It's busy, it's wild, but it's
I imagine
the best.
busy,
Yeah.
busy.
Busy, yes.
What would be your tips for somebody that would think, oh, I would like to get a farm and raise my family in a farm?
Just such a good feeling, raising food for yourself and raising animals and plants. So I say the biggest advice would be just to start and have a lot of fun with it. So.
And it's possible. If you have a dream, do it, right?
Absolutely, yes, yeah.